Parents handed my wedding fund to my sister. She deserves it more. Then my fiancé stood up and said, Dad didn't lower his tone at all. He slid the envelope over the dining table like it was some kind of victory prize and announced plainly, We've given your wedding savings to your sister. She deserves a real wedding. The whole room froze in an instant. Mom nodded quietly in agreement. My sister let a pleased smile spread across her face. I didn't let tears fall. I just shifted my eyes to my fiancé sitting beside me. Seconds later, he stood up slowly, took his phone from his pocket, and asked in a level voice, Should I tell them what my real job is? That smile on my sister's face vanished faster than a light being switched off. The full truth, though, didn't start at that dinner table. It had been growing silently for many years. I was raised in a home where affection felt like a directed beam, intense, warm, but nearly always pointed at one child. My parents viewed success almost like a religion: track it, display it, honor it. The dining room walls were covered in evidence. Each picture frame showed a proud moment from my sister Emily's life: her high school debate award, sports medals, the fancy university acceptance letter, snapshots from her first major job promotion. If I had any achievements, they stayed tucked in the thin spaces between those frames, unspoken, uncelebrated. From childhood, I understood that the best way to survive in that house was to keep expectations low and stay quiet. I focused on my own path, slowly created a freelance graphic design business, covered my expenses, and acted as if I didn't mind that nearly every family talk drifted back to our amazing Emily. It wasn't sharp jealousy. It was a steady, quiet hurt, of feeling only partly visible in the one place meant to see you fully. The single person who truly saw all of me was my grandmother, who lived directly across the hall from my old bedroom until I turned 18. She used to slip warm cookies into my palms and murmur, "Sweetness helps counter the unfairness life sometimes brings." She offered softness in a home that frequently felt harsh and scratchy. When I began seeing Liam, he met Grandma before anyone else in my family. He arrived at her place in a simple gray sweater, comfortable worn jeans, and practical shoes. A gentle warmth in his gaze caught her attention right away. They sat outside and talked for a full hour, about novels, flowers, how the neighborhood had changed over decades. As he left, she gently held my arm and whispered, "He's far more solid than he appears." She was correct. Liam never performed to win approval. He just appeared, dependable, even-tempered, strong in the ways that count long-term. My parents missed every bit of that. His plain style looked to them like a lack of drive. They asked basic questions about his work, but only in the way someone asks when they've already judged the response worthless. Because he didn't list fancy titles or big numbers, they invented their version. Not ambitious enough, not good enough for their star daughter. They never asked what kind of partner or life I actually wanted. As our wedding planning moved forward, tension thickened like fog. Emily overflowed with joy, showing pictures of venues, discussing menus, mentioning payments already sent. My parents gave her the proud, approving looks I had chased for so long. I lingered on the edges of those talks, nodding politely, smiling tightly, convincing myself the tight feeling in my chest was ordinary wedding nerves. Grandma always noticed those things. One sunny afternoon, while we pruned her rose bushes together, she said softly, "The noisiest places usually contain the smallest amount of truth." I didn't completely understand her meaning then. I would understand it very soon. All of it, the years of unequal attention, the way my efforts were overlooked, the growing splits in our family, was heading directly toward that Sunday dinner. The night my fiancé rose from his chair, and honesty could no longer hide. The days and weeks after that meal felt like a slow, squeezing pressure. Every call, visit, or message returned to Emily's wedding. The elegant hall overlooking water, the custom flower decorations, cake tastings, dress appointments. My mother repeated, "A real wedding," so many times it began sounding like a quiet criticism aimed straight at me. I tried brushing the words away. They stuck anyway, each one feeling like another small push moving me further from my own moment. Dad didn't offer comfort. He'd look at Liam with a courteous but pitying smile, the kind used when someone believes they're being kind. "Stability matters," he remarked one night, slowly stirring his coffee. "You both need to be realistic about commitments you can actually afford." He framed it as wise guidance. The real meaning was clear. He doubted we could stand independently. He doubted I could create a solid future with a man who didn't display success openly. Emily moved through everything in happy ignorance. She'd sit on the couch describing table settings and invitation designs, her excitement flowing freely while my parents listened closely, captivated. I stayed silent, hands in my lap, wondering how any family could make space so easily for one daughter while crowding the other into corners. The breaking point arrived at the airport. Grandma had been invited, repeatedly assured she would join my parents and Emily for a short beach getaway. That morning she chose her outfit with care, pressed her blouse neatly, packed a small bag with gentle anticipation. It had been years since she was included in family trips. At the check-in desk, the agent checked the computer, frowned, typed again, then said politely, "There's no booking under that name." My parents shared a fast glance, the sort that says everything without words. Emily kept looking at her phone screen. Grandma's fingers shook a little as she fixed her bag strap. Perhaps a mistake," she said quietly. No mistake existed. No ticket had ever been purchased for her. She had never been intended to come. When humiliation strikes someone you love, it feels heavier, more cutting. It landed on me like a hard weight against my ribs. My parents offered quick explanations. Computer error, simple oversight, confusion in booking. The words never touched her. She thanked the agent calmly, stepped to the side with the quiet dignity she had always held, even when ignored. I stood next to her without speaking. No tears came then either. I only looked toward Liam. The airport noise blurred into background sound. His face changed, controlled anger mixed with firm determination. In that second, I understood clearly. This wasn't forgetfulness. This was intentional. The drive back was silent. Grandma sat straight in the rear seat, hands folded, watching the city lights pass. Every so often she gave a small nod, as if agreeing with private thoughts. When we reached her house, she thanked us with a gentle smile that hurt my heart. She climbed the steps slowly, carrying the morning's disappointment like added weight. Inside smelled of dried lavender and aged paper. She walked directly to the garden door, opened it, stepped onto the small patio. From the doorway, I watched her kneel by the roses, touching petals softly, almost apologizing for leaving them even briefly. The silence around her felt fragile, like air holding bad news not yet spoken. When she spoke, her voice stayed even. "They didn't forget me, Anna." She removed a dry leaf carefully. "They chose I wasn't needed." I knelt beside her in the garden dirt. I offered no excuses for my parents or sister. Nothing deserved defending anymore. Later, while she made tea, I opened my laptop and began reading. I searched deeply into elder financial mistreatment, signs, laws, common stories. The deeper I went, the more clearly everything fit together. It wasn't only the airport ticket. It was how my parents spoke of managing her money, how Emily casually mentioned shifting funds, how choices about Grandma's life happened without her real input. Liam came in, read over my shoulder. "You believe this is abuse?" he asked softly. "I believe the boundary disappeared long ago." My tone held steady. He placed a hand on my shoulder. "Then we act before it happens again." Next day, we met an attorney experienced in elder asset protection. She listened closely, asked exact questions, stayed calm through the airport story. When she explained possible steps, legal oversight, fund recovery, required mediation, the atmosphere shifted. Control I'd lost over years returned, quiet but solid. When we left, the plan was set. My family's return from vacation would meet consequences, not welcome. They arrived Thursday, pulling colorful luggage through arrivals with easy confidence. Mom and Dad looked relaxed and tanned, talking about restaurants. Emily walked ahead, already choosing photos to share. They weren't expecting us. Liam and I waited at the railing. The attorney stood with us, holding a thick file that dimmed Dad's smile instantly. Mom slowed. "Anna, why are you here?" Grandma stepped out from behind us. She had wanted to attend, not for revenge, but to be seen and heard. She wore her navy cardigan, purse held firmly. Emily glanced between us and the lawyer. "What's going on?" The attorney spoke evenly. "I represent your mother. We must address unauthorized control of her finances and the airport exclusion." Dad paled. "What airport issue?" Grandma answered firmly. "The one where I was left without any ticket." Quiet fell heavily. People moved around us, but our circle felt sealed. Emily laughed shortly. "It was an error, Mom. We said so." "No," Grandma replied, voice strong. "You avoided, you downplayed, you said I was confused. I was." She looked straight at Emily. Dad's jaw clenched. "No need for lawyers over family matters." The attorney gave him the envelope. "You need one now," he read. Statements showing odd withdrawals, airport report, mediation notice. His face tightened with each page. Emily's bag dropped, ignored. "What does this mean?" she asked sharply. I moved forward. "It means she won't be ignored again, not by any of you." Dad stared at me. "Your idea of payback?" "No, the result of your actions," he stiffened. "We've supported everyone for years." "Don't, you supported Emily, enabled her, praised her. Grandma became optional." "Disposable? Not fair," Mom whispered. "It's accurate," Grandma said. "More accurate than your treatment of me." Emily's voice broke. "Why make us villains? We paid bills, managed accounts." "Helped her?" Grandma's gaze hardened with resolve. "You managed because I trusted you. You used that trust for yourselves." Dad cut in. "Never took anything without permission." Attorney responded calmly. "Intent gets reviewed in mediation. Pattern matters. Financial control, no consent decisions, exclusion." "Indicators of exploitation," Emily cracked. "This is crazy, Dad, fix it." He had nothing, no words, no plan. For once he looked at Grandma without power behind his eyes. Mom turned to Liam. "You're letting her break us." "I'm helping her defend someone who needed defense long ago." Emily laughed bitterly. "Hero now, you never said what you do." Liam breathed slowly. "You're right." "I didn't see hiding." "No, careful who I trust." He showed his phone screen. "This is my work." Emily looked, her face fell, confidence gone. "You run that company?" One nod. Dad blinked fast. "You said tech. I am in tech, not how you thought." Mom touched her chest. "Why hide it? Success doesn't excuse disrespect. Respect doesn't need success." Grandma smiled faintly. Dad tried recovering. "Lawyers still extreme." "Your actions were extreme," I said. "Airport was extreme. Finances without clarity extreme." Emily crossed arms. "Fine, humiliate us." "Happy, not humiliation, accountability," attorney spoke. "Schedule mediation required." Mom asked shakily. "If we skip, proceeds without you." Pause. Emily whispered, "Dad." He couldn't. Grandma lifted her purse. "I'm going home. Anna drives." She walked away, strong, not fragile. Emily called after, voice breaking. "This ruins everything." Liam glanced back. "No." "Reveals everything." It did. Mediation came 6 weeks later, plain room, neutral mediator, facts under light. Grandma spoke steadily, unclear withdrawals, promised trip, airport pain. Dad explained. Mom softened. Emily denied. Facts stayed firm. Funds restored fully, court-supervised payments. She updated her will quietly, removing those who saw her as burden. Not spite, peace. She moved to a small house near gardens. Planted roses, hydrangeas, herbs. She looked lighter, shoulders finally relaxed. I joined an advocacy program for vulnerable elders. Purpose felt real. Now seeing her tend roses, I ask, have you ever protected someone from their own family? True love doesn't need silence. Family is who shows up. Grandma reclaimed her voice. I found mine beside her. Truth didn't break us. It rebuilt us honestly. Thank you for watching my story. If you enjoyed it, please subscribe and press the bell icon. Stay tuned for more real-life stories. Get more experiences.